All right, good morning again. I'm back. Hopefully you guys are starting to filter in. If you're in the room, please say hello. Let me know. Anybody in there? Hello? Okay, good. Had me worried there for a minute. Hello, Judith, Armando. Welcome back. Got the crude oil report starting. Hi, Jim. Hi, John. Crude oil report will be starting in about 3.5 minutes. 3 minutes or so. Just a reminder, the upper left corner is the 5-tick momentum bar with spotlight. The lower left is the 8-tick momentum bar, slower chart. That one goes to target 1. The upper left corner goes to target 2 as its primary objective. I'll be, of course, trading and following the chart on the right, which is counterpunch, 377 tick chart. And as we normally do, we'll wait our 2 minutes after the report comes out, and then we'll start looking to take trades. Hello, Roger, Don, Lionel, Keith. Thanks for joining. Anybody has any questions about the strategy, you have literally less than 2 minutes to ask, and hopefully I can answer you quickly. Good morning to you, Robert, Miles, welcome. Let me please remind you all again to hit the thumbs up button. If you wouldn't mind, that would be very nice. You can see the countdown there. Pretty awful looking chart coming into the report. None of that matters once that report comes out. In fact, I'm going to expand this out a bit so we can zoom in on it. Looks like it's starting to get excited already. All right, so here's the report coming out. You can see the reaction right away. I drop a line right here. And this might be all she wrote with the initial reaction. Let's see if it can make a new high here. almost a half minute to go. We do have a possible short at 60.64, so we got to keep an eye on that. That would be targeting 0.26 with a stop at 6101. So that is the first trade so far. Still got to wait another 15 or so seconds for that. Not sure what the delay is for you guys as far as what I'm broadcasting. It looks like that's going to be the trade. Yeah, so 60.64, if you can grab it, that's the short. Targeting 26. And it may have gone too far too fast because stop is at 01. It's a good sized trade. My computer's running slow too. It makes me nervous. It did trigger in. Okay, money management on this is at 60.40. If we can break below, here we go. So if we can get to 0.40, we'll move our stop to break even. It's testing the 200 here. Support becomes resistance. We want to see it push lower. And drop a horizontal line there. You can see the gravity that 60.50 price has right at the 200 moving average. Kind of flirting with the bottom side of the initial report range there, the boundary to right when the report came out. So hopefully it can find some resistance and push lower here. It might just trade right back up into the range. So this is a testing level. So there's a possible stop and reverse at 68. 68 is a stop and reverse. It's literally 4 ticks higher than our entry. Would sure love to see this push lower, though. Kind of in this bizarre price point in between the two moving averages and right at that 50-cent level near the bottom of the report range. So you could just see there's a lot of push me, pull me going on at this price level here. So far, the stop and reverse is still valid. If we get one more close below the signal line, it'll cancel. And it did stop and reverse. Okay, so we're long now, and now we're targeting 82. I mean 92. Sorry, guys, 92. Targeting 92, and the stop is at 42. And there is money management. So we're going to move our stop to break even. And see if we can get a push higher. Really, that stop should be at 6.7. Just to give it a little extra room there. I know that's one more tick of risk, but we want to give this trade every chance. Hopefully it comes up and tests the high end of the range. It's right in the middle of the range. So the failure to get lower could lead to a strong move higher, hopefully. And that's a target. Target 2 achieved. That's going to be power of quitting because the stop and reverse was only a few ticks away from our entry. Move your stop. If you're in the trade, the stop should go to 72. And that stop will move to 74 in a moment, so be ready for that. All right, so your trailer should be at 74. If you're trying to get to target 3, that's 61.01. Maybe you put your target at 61 even. It already got to 60.96. So this is a successful session for Counterpunch. We'll take a look at Spotlight in a moment. The stop now goes to 60.79. 60.79. And the top dotted line is the range from the reaction. We can get rid of this line now. This was target 2. We've already hit it. Now we want to get up to target 3, which is past. It has to make it, get past the reaction of the report. Still trading in between. So that stop and reverse was very timely, the way it showed up. This is, it's interesting how the stop and reverse, our adjustment did not get us into the trade earlier this morning with Spotlight to start the session. And today with the crude oil report, it did. It flipped us over with cutting which would have been we'd be way underwater if we were still in that white short trade. And instead, we're going to end up with a positive session here, flipping over on the purple trade. Stops at 79 still. See if we can get a push higher. It's trading right in the middle of its reaction to the range of its reaction. It's so typical. And you guys are able to see everything, I believe, right? My streaming software is showing me something totally different. But I think on YouTube, you guys are seeing the chart and everything. Hopefully. I believe you are. So we're almost done with this trade. But it's amazing how that 80-cent level is still holding strong. The trailer is around the key level at 79, giving us a chance to maybe make a little more on this. Let's see what happens. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. So it's amazing how these key levels work and the key level adjustment. Notice that the signal line went higher, but the stop didn't. That's all because of the rules of the strategy and the great programming in Counterpunch and Spotlight that keep that stop from moving. And hopefully you guys are still in this trade and have a chance for a larger move higher. Because what I'm seeing here is a nice action move and a reaction into our line. If we get a subsequent action move, we can get through, we have to get through the $61 level. So that stop just moved up to 82. I mean, I think I would go to 82 right now because it's going to move up again anyway. It's going to move up to 84 in a second here, maybe even more than that. There it is, target 3. Look at that. And the stop moving higher. So the stop now is at 84, and now it is at 89. So that's 10 cents higher on the stop. Move your stop up to 89 if you're trailing. We hit the target 3. I mean, that was a $350 move there. Well, call it $330 because we had a stop and reverse adjustment on the entry. But breaking through the upper end of the range from the report, If anyone's in the trade still, let me know. And if you have any questions about anything else, you could let me know. I'm done with my trade. Very happy with the outcome. The stop's about ready to move up again. So right now it's at 89 and it's about, well, there it is, 93. Move your stop to 93. The really cool technique that some experienced counterpunch traders use is that they will continue to move their targets up when they see the subsequent green trades stacking up, all these add-on trades. You could, what they like to do is move their targets from their original target location to the new targets because these trades have a good chance of hitting. It's definitely an advanced technique, but it's interesting. All right, the stop should be at 94 now. Move your stop to 94. Jim W., it's all in one step, actually. You move your stop down, and then you also place a reversing order. Yeah, so I have a video I could recommend to you because this is something that you should practice. This is one of the, I've talked about this often in the past. Maybe I need to spend more time with it, but it's the two legitimate reasons to use a sim account. One of them is to practice executing trades, and that's where this would fall into. So you need to practice and execute stop and reversals, canceling stop and reversals, replacing stop and reversals, and you need to be able to do it really fast and really well, flawlessly, and that takes some practice. So you use a sim account to do that. The other legitimate reason, of course, is to get your 25 trade plan mistake-free trades in a row. Other than that, you really don't want to use a sim account because you develop bad habits and you do things that you shouldn't do that translate into real trading, which end up being problematic. So, for example, if you want to use a stop and reverse here, you can move your stop to 97 and get out of this trade, or you can I would keep it at 94 and try to stay in for a larger move higher. That's what I would do. But Jim, I've got my matrix set up. I have 3 matrices, and I'll get you a link to a video so that you can see how I do it. It's on this channel. And ultimately I use a stop limit order to place that first trade, but I toggle over to my second matrix for the stop and reversal. And you have to use a stop market order for the exact reason you said. You can get out of one trade, and if you try to stop limit into a reversing trade, you might not get filled and you miss it. So I always use a stop market order, even if it costs me a little slippage. And you practice that. You have to practice that. You have to practice using your menus to cancel. Like you'll see in the video, I'll show you. Let's just finish this trade and I'll find the link for you. It's on this very channel, How I Place Trades, I think it's called. But that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to practice until you could just do it as easily as without thinking, just like riding a bike, right? It's awkward at first. You do it so many times, all of a sudden it's like you never forget again. Or learning how to drive a clutch, for example. A stick shift. That's the metaphor. You just got to practice it. And you have to have your windows, your monitors, and everything set up efficiently so that you're not fighting with yourself. Yeah, sure. It's a really important topic. I mean, practicing your trade executions is like, what's more important than that? I mean, other than a good trade plan that you believe in, you have to also be able to execute on it. So I talk about this in my book, but ultimately, sim accounts could be very destructive if you use them incorrectly. And in my opinion, there's only 2 real legitimate reasons to use a sim account. And they are for the two reasons I just said. One is to practice executions, in which case you don't care if you're winning or losing. All you're trying to do is get the physical motion of placing trades. By the way, the stop needs to move up to 99. Move your stop to 99. Get as much, and it's out. Because that's $50 a contract right there. So out at 99, we're finished. And that's a wrap on today's session. Hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate it. Let's take a look at the other two charts, and then I'll show you what video I was referring to. So on the 5-tick momentum bar, remember we're waiting our 2 minutes, and that takes us all the way down to here. And then there's a short right there. We already know what happens on this one. It flips over to long, much like the counterpunch. So you have to add the 2 ticks. 58 becomes your entry. So, I mean, it's an 8-tick loss. And then now you're trying to get a 13-tick minus the 2. So it's only an 11-tick winner to target 2. So it's barely a break even on, maybe you make a cheese sandwich if you're only trading one position. But if you're trading the additional targets and the trailer, you do pretty well. Okay, so that one at least hit power of quitting barely. And then on the 8-tick momentum bar, this one, it was slower, so you didn't get the short trade. Instead, you only got the long trade. It made 23 cents to its primary target of target 1. It also got to target 2. Well, missed by 1 tick. But target 1, 23 ticks, $230, one and done. So the 8-tick mini session, very nice. It cleaned up the noise that you got with the faster 5-tick momentum bar, which often happens. And we already saw what happened with the 33-tick counterpunch. Got short here at 64, and it got it on the pullback. Like, I'm not really working around the 50 moving average because after the start time, like when I got the trade placed, it was down in here, and then it pulled up. I didn't need to adjust at that point. And then it pushed down. It didn't quite get low enough, unfortunately. So then we had the stop and reverse, and notice that it stayed valid all the way across. The entries were hidden behind the dots, but you have to know that, it takes 2 closes on the other side of the signal line to cancel the trade. So if you know the rules, you know that trade's still valid. And it was, and it triggered in. And the entry was at 66. We got short at 64. So then there's the 2-tick adjustment. So that pushed that up to 68, which was perfect because this spike was 67. So it just worked out where it pushed it 1 tick beyond the spike. At first, it felt like it was going to push lower again, but the 200 moving average was just too much support to get through. You could see it tried and it couldn't. And then that launched the move higher. And we only lost 4 ticks on the short, going to a 26 ticks. That made a 24 tick target 2 for $240 to target 2. $330 to target 3. And then the trailer all the way up, basically just below target 3. So a nice trade and 2 trades and positive. So that's how that worked. So let me show you. Hold on, I'll find it. So if you haven't subscribed to the Backpack Trader YouTube channel, please do so. That way you can get notifications for these live sessions and some live sessions I have planned that are coming up in the very near term. So let's see. Here's the YouTube. Let me just get to my channel really quick. Videos. So there's a bunch of them. Let's see. Where is... It's probably down here. Let me start at the bottom and work up because I know it's one of the older videos. I pass it already? All right, well, here's a good one. Stop and reversals explained in the trade room. Okay, so that's a good video. You can see I've got the different matrices on there. So that's probably going to give you, Robert, lower right-hand corner. Did I pass it already? Oh, yeah, good. Thank you. How I place trades. So it was down on the bottom. So there's this, the trading tricks, how I place trades. And then there's another one too, the stop and reversals. So those are both useful. And they probably are redundant too, but who knows? Maybe there's a new take on one of them that the other one doesn't have. But those are the two I would watch. And you could already see the different matrices and stuff. And those are techniques you want to practice in a sim account over and over and over and over and over and over and over. I mean, practice it left-handed. I don't care. I want you to become an expert at it. And don't even trade live until you are, because you really need to be able to do that. Is there a link for the daily trade room? Yeah, so the way that works, Lionel, is that we post them. Like you can see here, this is well, I have to click here. I have to click. See, I can't really show you because I'm in as an administrator. But if you go to the Backpack Trader channel, you should see the Thursday session that looks like this with Coach John already scheduled. And I think it says coming soon. Maybe I could get there with an incognito window. Let me try something. So if I go incognito, then they don't know it's me. Show you, maybe, let's see. So I gotta search for Backpack Trader. Click on this. Well, here you could, that's live. So here you can see it live. So if you click on here, well, that's weird. Is it lined up? Maybe it's not. Maybe we still have to schedule it. Do I have to still schedule it? What's this one? Tuesday, Thursday. I have to get with my assistant. No, you're not bothering me at all. So, all right, normally that's how you do it. And then you see here it's scheduled. Okay, and then you click on it. Now, the other thing I would recommend is that you hit subscribe, and then there should be a little bell. And you click on the bell and say, notify me. And then that way you get a notification when we go live. And you could also click on anything that you see scheduled and have that notify you as well. Okay, so those are the things that you can do. Yeah. Anyway, I'll double check and make sure it's scheduled. So we should talk a little bit about the schedule. By the way, John's going to be in tomorrow. This Monday coming up is the Monday after Easter Sunday, and we always take that off. So I may do an impromptu session, the one I've been promising you, a fast testing session, like a clinic in fast testing. And then I'll schedule that. Look out. I mean, I'm not sure yet. I'm traveling now, and I would like to do it on Monday since there's no trade room, and it's possible I will. So if so, check in with the channel or get notifications and you'll hear about it, okay? And then you can join me Monday if I decide to do that still. I'm still not 100%, but I'm leaning that way. Got a lot going on these days. So that's a wrap, everybody. Now I have to find my YouTube channel in case there's any questions that you guys have. weird how this works. All right, let me move this off this monitor. Yeah, I do see John's session scheduled for tomorrow. Don't quite know, it's not showing up. Maybe you guys see it. It could just be because I'm an administrator of the channel. Any other questions, guys, before we say goodbye? Roger says, you have a few minutes after the call to do a screen share to clear it. Yeah, Roger. That's a good idea. Let's do that. I could do that with you. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the session. Again, last ditch call for me, for you to hit the like button. Everyone have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the session. And don't forget to be nice to John tomorrow. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.